I was talking with a really good friend of mine this week, and he mentioned that he had missed out on a really good opportunity. That with the markets and everything, and he's a very savvy businessman, and he mentioned that with his knowledge of the markets and everything that's going on, he knew that there were certain stocks that suddenly plunged in a way that they shouldn't in this time and in this environment. And he literally had the thought, I ought to go all in. And but what prevented him from doing that was fear. He was afraid. In spite of what he knew, he just couldn't bring himself to take the steps that he needed to. And a couple days went by, and it turns out that if he had done what he knew he should have done, then he would have made a small fortune. Well, not actually a small fortune, a huge fortune. And the truth is, I wonder if we all realize that God is providing us with an opportunity right now with this whole pandemic that is even more amazing than that. Now, I realize just by saying that, I'm going to have some people's attention and maybe even ruffle some feathers, but the reality is still exactly that. You see, for far too long, many of us have put our faith, we've put our confidence, our end of the day core belief in our jobs, in our retirement funds, in our savings, in our houses. And what's happening right now is that many of us are experiencing unemployment and uncertainty on a level that we've never experienced in our lives. And say what you want, the whole virus is a result of God. God is powerful, and he's all-knowing, and he's responsible, and he can handle it. And the truth is, he's giving us an opportunity. The opportunity is to turn away from the dependence and reliance that we have on those things and turn to him. As I've thought of myself this week, I really have found fear, clutching at me over and over again. The reality is my job isn't entirely secure, and there's a possibility that it might not be there in the near future. And when I think of, car payments and school payments and house payments and groceries and all these kinds of things, fear begins to creep up. And yet the reality is, God's got this. He is in control. And what he's giving us, the opportunity that we have, is for us to fully turn back to him and be dependent on him. To recognize him and have a relationship with him that allows us to enjoy this time, to really find joy, even in the midst of the sorrow and the pain and the fear and even some suffering. I mean, think about it. If you're a Christian and you really believe that the Bible is true, then what it tells us is that ultimately even death isn't to be feared. And that God uses trials and challenges and these kinds of circumstances to grow us, to mature us. What a great opportunity we have. And then I find myself looking inside deep and saying, Eric, are you going to actually take advantage of this opportunity? Like not just say that, but are you really going to do it? Are you really going to use this as a turning moment in your life that allows you to say, I'm okay. I really trust you, Lord. That no matter what this world throws at me, I will be okay. As I shared in my last video, my journey is such that I've seen challenges before, and I can look back to those challenges and reflect and go, oh, no, God has this. I'm going to be okay. But even in that reflection, I still find myself with this decision, this choice. And the choice is, am I going to turn to him? Am I truly going to put my faith in him? So I've got a lot of knowledge. I have a master's degree in theology, and I know that Scripture is true, and I've studied these things, and I've pondered them and done a lot of navel gazing, and I don't need to be convinced. But at the end of the day, I still have to decide, do I have faith? Do I believe? Do I trust? The opportunity before me, the opportunity before you is tremendous. Will we miss out on that opportunity? Or will the whole pandemic go by and then we just return to life as normal, where we just, continue to put money in our 401k, we continue to work our jobs, and not that any of those things are bad. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying, are we gonna seize this opportunity to learn this lesson? Because here's the deal. What we're talking about is the difference between slavery and freedom. Am I going to live in the freedom of Christ, or am I going to live in the slavery of the economy? And I have a choice. I don't know about you, but for me in my house, I choose the Lord. I choose faith. And when we choose faith, God changes us. He transforms us and He takes care of us. So think about this today. Ponder your circumstances. I'm not saying that they're not scary. I'm not saying that you aren't going to have tough times. What I'm saying is that you have an amazing opportunity before you. Seize it. Seize it today. My name is Eric, and I am the 5-Minute Pastor.